and welcome again to the Literature Dropout channel. Today I'm coming at you with a very action, pulse-pounding, testosterone-fueled, absolute monster of a story that is BEOWULF. Now, just for a little reference right now, yes, I did get a haircut. Valentine's Day is approaching and my beloved deserves to see me looking very nice, and so I got a haircut. I do intend to look like a beast freak of nature in the near future, but for now, I'm going to be dealing with this. You're going to see it slowly grow out again. And also, as to where I am, we're staying at a hotel currently. It is literally midnight currently, but I thought, BEOWULF is just such a pulse-pounding, testosterone-fueled, strength score of 20 plus 5 bonus to athletics type of story that would only be right if in the hotel I had a chest day, because Lord knows I need it. That'll be referenced later. And yeah, so we're doing chest day and reviewing BEOWULF at the same time. We'll see how this goes. Actually, the first thing to really note here is that BEOWULF is a story that was originally told in Old English, which most people think is a Shakespearean type of dialogue, but in reality, it is actually completely incomprehensible to the modern way of speaking English. Because the type of English that Shakespeare did, that is what's considered pre-modern English. And then what came before that was Middle English, which sounded a little bizarre, but you still might be able to understand some things. And then Old English is, it's just incomprehensible. So what you have to do to listen to BEOWULF, unless you're a master of linguists and you know Old English, is you need to read a translation, or in my case, listen to a translation. And when you're listening to a translation, it's roughly a 2-hour read. The original story was longer, but that's because it went off on many actual historical based tangents. And they cut that shit out. You don't need it. And you definitely don't need it. I was never confused during the story, never at all. This was the first audiobook I really listened to where I understood 100% of the time what was happening. But reading the summary definitely did help, because some of the language is still a bit bizarre. The original text of BEOWULF was written over 1,000 years ago, and it is known as a classic of all classics. So this is something that has inspired everything from Tolkien to the way we think about modern fantasy in medieval times, which is very interesting, including such stories like Merlin and all such figures as Merlin. I don't know, this is very, very interesting, to say the least. It's also at a time historically where Europe was on a convergence from more pagan religions to Christianity, which is also unknown. Some even believe that the original text written actually didn't have any allusions to Christianity, and the only surviving copy was a knockoff that did make those parallels. Because even back then, the story of BEOWULF was so incredibly influential. So incredibly influential that they decided to print a lot of, well, not print a lot of them, just write by hand a lot of them. I'm gonna do it like Dr. Mike did. What is that guy, Dr. Greg Duché? Yeah. Sorry about that. I don't usually get that weak at the end of my sets. I usually be stronger than this. Time to cool. I realized that if I hold a mouse and just keep my cursor over my record button, I can start recording, stop recording at any moment. I can make it look like I'm teleporting across the room. Here, check this out. Bet you didn't see that coming. I think I might want to do a little bit like this, maybe? Oh, come on. I swear half the workout is adjusting the machine. Alright, I'm going to put that mouse there. I'm going to do some bench flies right now. And I'm going to try to summarize the story of Beowulf. And hopefully, I can do it before I hit failure. We'll see. Pretty ripping story. Let's see if I can try to hit every... No, really, that's a pretty good... Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. No, I'll just do bench press. So Beowulf... So basically, throughout the story, the very beginning of the story, there's this guy. I don't remember what any of their names are because they're stupid old English names. There's this guy. He has a really big bar, basically, where everyone goes to drink. It's a whole meat hall. And this monster named Grendel, the asshole he is, goes in every night, kills like 30 people. And it takes like a whole week for the king to realize we should kill this Grendel guy. Hang on. I'm deciding this angle is not epic. This is not how I want to be doing this. Whew. You know what? I think I'm just gonna record a review. I'll get my workout in later. So this monster Grendel, he keeps on coming in. He keeps on murdering like 30 great warriors, and they're like, you know what? None of us can stop this monster Grendel. Let's get the best warrior of all. And that, of course, is our protagonist, Beowulf. Now, he has a confrontation with Grendel, and he's like, I heard that Grendel, he don't use weapons. So Beowulf is like, I'm gonna match your freak, I'm gonna match your style, and I'm not gonna use any of my swords, any of my armor. And in a barehanded brawl, Beowulf rips this guy's arm clean off his body, dude. Then right after he cuts his arm clean off, dude, he hangs it up in the bar, in the meat hall. What a sad, bro. Imagine you get your arm cut off and you come in the next day to try to murder 30 more people and you see your arm hung up on the wall. And he didn't come in the next day because I think he died. Blood loss Grendel. But you know what? You kill Grendel, you make Grendel's mommy real mad. I'm not even making a joke there. And the next person Beowulf has to fight and fend off is Grendel's mother. He does the entire thing underwater. He holds his breath for more than 24 hours while under the monster lake place, bro. Doesn't even make sense, dog. And while he's down there, he's like, okay, he's got a sword, he's using swords now. So, okay, he's getting real serious. But he hits him with the sword, the Grendel's mother. And the sword breaks, dude. The sword breaks. And then what he does is he finds a new sword under the sea. It's like magic. He hits Grendel's mother with that. And then that does it, dude. He swims for an entire 24 hours, an entire day, going back up to sea. And I gotta put my sunglasses on, this is so cool. He goes an entire day swimming back up to sea, and he holds its head and they hang it right next to the arm, dude, or something like that. It was crazy.
And then this is so awesome with what he does that he doesn't have to do anything for the next 50 years. For the next 50 years, they just let him stay in this town. And he's like, yeah, I did this, I did that. And even after 50 years, a dragon comes by, and Beowulf is still that guy to take care of it after 50 years, being like over 50 years old, over like 80 at this point. However, sadly enough, the dragon does get a solid bite in at him, and it does end up taking him out. But he ends up getting to keep some of the dragon's gold and stuff like that. What really captured my attention about the story, and what really surprised me, was that it has nothing to do with wolves. I mean, you think Beowulf, even if it's Old English, you think that would have something kind of to do with it. No werewolves, no lycanthropy. It's just a knight named Beowulf. That's absolutely awesome. And Grendel and monsters and stuff. Dude, this is a solid read. It's 2 hours. I would check it out. It loses a couple points because, again, I don't respect poets, and the whole thing is technically an epic poem. But it's almost so epic that I don't know if I should count it as a poem. I don't know. Leave in the comments whether you think Beowulf is actually a poem or not, because I remember in Old English it was supposed to have a whole, not rhyming, but alliteration scheme to it, but now in the translation it's lost, so it could be deemed just a story now. Many scholars like myself argue about this daily. Real talk, guys, I think I need to hit the gym more. This is the first lift in I guess a commercial gym. I'm in a hotel. If you're in a hotel, is it a commercial gym or is it a private gym? I don't know. It's a hotel gym. My first time actually in the gym. It's not my house. Well, yeah, I gotta train more. Maybe every book, every story I read that has an awesome masculine character lead like this, maybe I hit a lift while I do it. I think I'd have to find a different place that's not. Well, let me show you this gym real quick. It is, yeah, it's very small. That is the only dumbbell rack. Got a big mirror, just a couple treadmills. That's it. Got 2 benches, the one I had my computer on and the one I was on. I'll have to put those back in order. But dude, yeah, this gym is pretty small. Record anywhere else, I might run into problems with other people and yapping too much about literature. For their small brains they get annoying, they don't like that. In conclusion, Beowulf is a solid 9 out of 10, I'd say. It's really kind of, I would say it's on a very similar level to Dracula. I just really liked it because it had a bunch of action. Dude is a fucking Chad. I mean, Beowulf wants something, Beowulf gets it, His wife makes him a sandwich. He walks into a room, all the women are just instantly pregnant or some bullshit like that. Bro. I got a crush on Beowulf. I want to be strong like him. He wields he's the inspiration behind every guts character, giant. So to give you some perspective here. This is I did not think that classic literature would reach ridiculous almost anime proportions of strength. But this hits it. I want to see Beowulf versus Saiyan Saga Vegeta or some bullshit like that. Maybe that might be the next video I make. Maybe that would go pretty hard. Maybe I'm talking about anime too much. So yeah, that's just the video. I feel like I would be shooting myself in the foot if I did not tell you to like and subscribe. So if you could just please do that. You don't got it. I don't care. Bro, psych! I'm doing this channel for me. You can do whatever you want.